surprises, but I can welcome my co-caster at this point, I think. Scant, what's going on, man?
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, then I was looking at the stats before, and Vega, they've played 3 series, I believe, against Team Liquid, and they haven't won a single time. And Vega, they're this team that has been really crushing tons of people. Did a great job over at ESL New York, but Team Liquid, they're not afraid of anyone right now. They're on a hot streak, and with Kuroki Fata, they're really showing that their strength both aggressively and defensively. But I think their main focal point is draft. They're a very good, strong drafting side. Vega Squadron, they've got their work cut out for them in this one. But Beastmaster for Mag very early on with, like you said, the Queen of Pain. But Liquid, they've got Tusk for Jirax and Razor, not picked and not banned. And that's kind of interesting. Liquid have been prioritizing Razor for Fata quite heavily in the past few games I've seen from them. Yeah.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, it's kind of a defensive undying, if that makes sense. You do have aggressive opportunities with your Frost Blast and things like that, but you're not playing constantly up in the face of the enemy with the Lich, bringing things back with a sacrifice and stuff like that. But I'm wondering if they run this in the dual lane kind of setup for Vega Squadron, with Lich Beastmaster heading towards the off lane, then Quap mid, and they look for something, maybe the Gyro back for Pasha, because his main 3 heroes, Ember Spirit, Gyro, Phantom Lancer, that the PL has really fallen out of favor recently, and very few people like actually picking that up anymore. But Gyrocopter you can still actually run with. You've got big team fight ultimates, you can charge people down and get into the thick of things. But Team Liquid, they've already set themselves up for some kind of wombo combo if they want to. Vacuum, Snowball, Ice Shards, and if they follow through with a couple of other big heroes, like you said, the Necro that they've been picking up recently as well, Matumba Man. I saw him play that the other night against Nip, and my goodness, that game was ridiculous. Ninjas in Pajamas had the Tiny Wisp that they love so much, and they had the game in the bag. Like, honestly, 35 minutes in, they had a Desolator on Tiny, and they kind of went all-in-ish, but they took down tier 3s, they were knocking on the doors of the racks, and Team Liquid, they made a few missteps, It's quite often that we see them in game 2 of, either a best of 3 or 2 game series, actually slip up in game 2 sometimes, maybe the momentum starts to fall a little bit, they get a little bit too big for their boots, but they are very good at closing out series, I feel. That's one of their biggest strengths, along with the draft. But with the Necro from Matu, we saw the Refresher Ags ulti in full swing. And I wonder if it's worth picking up this early in the draft, but they're going to go with the Wind Ranger really early on, so that's going to be a mid-hero for Fata. Oh yeah, of course, the one-roll Wind Ranger.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Look. I've seen Matu play it once or twice, but now you've questioned the sort of Wind Ranger. I've seen Matu play Wind Ranger a couple of times in their one role, and sure enough, Fata could play it. I'm just wondering about the combination that you've got between Amp Damage and Focus Fire, but they say screw it, we're going to go with an Alchemist. So Fata Alchemist, Matu over on the Wind Ranger, Darkseer for Mind Control down in bottom lane, Tusk for Jerax. So the last hero, more likely than not, is going to be Kuroki's hero, unless they run Alk in a support role. We've seen that from FNG a handful of times, but I don't know.
5
yes.
seconds remaining. Reserve.
I'm in the big studio. Cap was over in the little studio where everything's all set up for that. I keep forgetting. Team.
The team one, right? Okay, so that should be sorted now. Okay.
Sweet.
You guys switched around, because I feel like in the past it was the other way around between two of you. Used.
I mean, you were messaging me thinking it was Cap earlier. Getting us too mixed up.
Yeah, actually I've had like a tough week, and I'm just a little bit distracted at the moment, but there's an Alchemist which does...
Team Liquids. Turn.
I'm
I was
pretty
gonna
sure
say
it's...
go to the Necrophos, but they're not gonna pick the Necrophos. That's absurd at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Kuroki's hero for last, which is why you see the Bane coming out in the last ban from Vega Squadron. But what can we see from Team Liquid banning out? Because it's going to be another support again, right? A Rubik, possibly?
5 seconds.
Yeah, Rubik's definitely a decent
Oh,
ban.
AA is the ban.
Yeah, it is considered to be like one of the direct heroes to counter Alchemist.
And
Because-
also Solo.
Yeah, and also Solo plays the hero extremely well. I agree with that. And it also goes extremely well with Queen of Pain. So it could be the pick. The one downside is that the other supports a Lich. And the final game of the series I just cast with Cap was decided, I think, almost in large part because Power Rangers drafted Lina and Lich as their two supports. And then neither of their supports had a way to like go on someone, start a fight, and I think it's very important at the moment that you have both your offlaner and one of your supports have that power, or if it's not your offlaner, it's one of your mid laner and one of your supports. Neither of your supports offer that in the current meta. It seems to put you at a big weakness, and King Lich and AA might do that. So it could be even that this is even what they're thinking about right now. Like, hey, AA is a really good pick. Then our fights always start with Beastmaster, and maybe that's risky.
Yeah, you need that catch. We talk a lot about long-range initiation and that catch power from, Earthshaker, Clockwork, and things like that. Beastmaster, of course, is out there as well. But it's the added factor of, like you're saying, coming out from a smoke. You smoke up, you want a telekinesis, you want a cask, you want just, a shackle, a lion stun, something. Just to throw out there onto a target, like an alchemist in particular, before he can get his chemical rage off, before he becomes that beast, just charging around and regenning up, you need that initiation tool. You need something just to start things off and get things going. So, I'm fully with you. I think Vega Squadron, they've got a tough decision on their hands. Lion could be potentially good here. Finger of Death, good against the Wind Ranger, good zoning potential against the Darkseer. Or they look at something more sustain-oriented. I guess Dazzle, Witch Doctor are both banned out, so a lot of the heals have gone, actually. Wisp, Dazzle, Witch Doctor, so maybe they don't look down that route, seeing as none of them are possible.
To be honest, the most Vega Squadron pick here is actually Disruptor, but it doesn't do anything like what we're talking about.
Oh.
They take the Wyvern. That's definitely a hero that can initiate. Strong laning presence, a strong harassment presence. If you play it in the correct way, well... Let's say I've seen some Winter Wyvern players successfully gank with a hero very well early on, and then it's got that crazy late game power of initiating fights or controlling enemy cores. Don't know what they want to BKB, so definitely an all-around solid pick.
And maybe also Team Liquid could have potentially been looking for it themselves. Winter Wyvern last pick with the vacuum back into Winter's Curse. So not only have Vega picked themselves up a good hero for themselves, but potentially a block pick against Team Liquid, who are now, running out of time very quickly for their final hero here. Interesting to see what they go for. But yeah, Alchemists, we've seen FNG run that a couple of times in support for VP. I don't think Team Liquid will be looking at that here, or maybe they will. Brewmaster for Fata, I'm guessing, but that's an interesting lineup they've got. Tanky heroes, and this is something that Clairvoyance was talking about with me the other day. Lots of strength core lots of strength support heroes who don't really rely too much on massive mana pools. They can get by with a couple of stick charges just to keep themselves going. You don't need too many arcane boots or anything like that. One pair will suffice. But these lanes, well, I'm not sure about that. They've got decent initiation power once they get their items up, but it's getting through the first 10 minutes to get into those items that's potentially going to be the difficulty.
So the thing that's nice, I think, about Team Liquid's lineup, if you look at Vega Squadron's lineup, is how does Juggernaut get value out of Omni Slash in this game? It's going to be very difficult. There's a Tusk Snowball to stop the Omni Slash. There's just,
5 seconds remaining.
Drunken Haze, Asian Tankiness, Wind Ranger can also Wind Run. It's actually maybe one of the strengths of Juggernauts is that it's one of, I heard someone say recently, I thought it was a very good comment, that in the late game, one of the few carry heroes that can actually kill a Windrunner when she's using Windrun and BKB. But earlier on, Omni Slash is not killing through Windrun most of the time earlier on, and it's not killing most of the other heroes either. But have you seen who's playing what? It's a Kuro Brewmaster.
I'm just looking at this battle up at top. So Jirax TP'd up to the top tier 1, so did Mag on opposite sides. And they did this sort of, ships passing in the night kind of thing, where Mag just sort of stalls and then walks past. Jirax walks into the side shop to get his ward down as well. But I'm pretty sure, the Tusk knows what's going on. He's going to deward this. I'm not sure Mag is going to be able to get rid of the lane ward either. But yeah, back to what you're saying, Kuroki, Brewmaster. You're right, Matu, Wind Ranger, like we were saying before. Jirax, Tusk, no surprises there. And my control over on this Darks here. But Fata, he will be playing that Alchemist. Kuroki Brewmaster, though. Interesting stuff from the 4th spot. Over on Vega, Max Beastmaster. The 20-minute Necro 3, we'll see if he gets it going in this game. Seema on the Lich. And no one playing a Queen of Pain. Solo Winter Wyvern and Pasha playing the Juggernaut down at bottom lane. Top. They should be getting a bounty for Fata here.
Yeah. They've even got the Iron Shaw and Kuroki. It's pretty much guaranteed. Yes, Brewmaster is a good hero to buy an Aghanim for. It's interesting because it's not just a Brewmaster support, it's Brewmaster support with Tusk support, the double melee combo. Obviously they have a way to get onto you, but definitely unconventional. So interested to see how they work through these supports, how they try and exert control in the game early on.
Maybe they're taking a leaf out of Monkey Business Book, the roaming Tusk Slardar, but this time around with the Brewmaster. And just to run people down a little bit. Up at top. Kuroki's actually blocking up the wave here. Controlling things back a little bit, double balls out for Mag. But yeah, they can snowball into a clap, they can slow things down, and they can dish out a lot of damage onto Mag. Middle lane, Fata. Alchemist up against the Queen of Pain. And this lane, you see the Alchemist already with a salve up, and he knows he needs that extra bit of regen just to deal with the Shadow Strike and get under the skin of no one a little bit here with the Acid Spray as well. But bottom lane, mind control. Oh, he's going in big here with the Iron Shell of the Solo. Tons of damage out. And already forcing a lot of regen to be burnt through by both Juggernaut and the Winter Wyvern. Mind control, we've seen him do some crazy things with Broodmother, with Darkseer. He speaking of getting under the skin of people, the middle lane, okay, Fata's going to be annoying. Queen of Pain's going to throw it right back in his face. But mind control down here with the Iron Shells, it's relatively difficult to deal with. Juggernaut will be able to get by with his Blade Fury a little bit later on. Quelling Blade, once he has that up, and a poor man's shield also will help him deal with the Iron Shell creeps. But look at him now. Trying to last hit under this tower, and he's forced to use the healing ward very early on, and he's already missing out on some last hits. Vital stuff.
Yeah, I think Mind Control an underappreciated player. There's not enough talk about him. He's an absolutely solid, one of the best offlaners around at the moment, and did a great job at the start of this game. In terms of how the lanes match up, I still have this concern that for Liquid, the Brewmaster and Tusk aren't getting enough done in their top lane because of the way the Lich plays. But at the same time, because Mind Control is doing well in the bot lane, and I want to say Fata's... he's being totally outfarmed, but I still feel like he's doing better than he needs to do, especially with that second bounty and pickup. This is a matchup, by the way, that, from what I've spoken to, suggest that this is probably the worst matchup mid for Alchemist that there is, the Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
Because she never has to stand an Acid Spray, she can always blink across, and Alchemist has really low base armor, so she can just destroy him with harassment. She should completely out-CS him and force him to just stay in the game because of the fact that he's getting bounty runes and has Grievel's Greed and farm stacks. But He's not looking that bothered just yet. He sends a lot of regen.
I mean, look at his last hits though. Like, Queen of Pain is 12 and 10. 10 denies already up and no one. Fata gets his 5th one just there, and they're not making stacks just yet for him. So that's something that Kuroki definitely has to start looking out for, is making stacks up over in the jungle for this
It's like
Alchemist.
a different metric when you're dealing with Alchemist though, and that's why I feel like in this lane matchup, if he doesn't get forced out of the lane, chased back to base or killed or something like that, it's still just fine. Based on how the matchup goes.
It's like the SF matchup as well, you know, Shadow Fiend's going to out-farm you, going to out-lane you, and he's going to shove the wave towards you. As long as you have stacks, you kind of just ignore what's going on and go back into the jungle and make things alright again, once you take those down. But, mind control, double iron shelves up, Wind Ranger farming away pretty nicely as well, and Juggernaut, he's got his magic stick in his brown boots, and with the healing ward, he's been able to keep himself alive down here, so that's all good for him. But no one. I'm looking at this and wondering, did you just go straight into like Orchid, you know, Tread's Orchid? Because there are lots of high value targets here. Wind Ranger Dark's here, definitely. But the Brewmaster, the support Brewmaster, who won't get his level 6 too early on, his ultimate from the 4 roll could cause a lot of havoc as the game starts to progress.
Yeah, and even just catching the Alchemist before his ulti's on, before he farms a Manta, if that is where he goes. I think an Orchid could be very good if no one can get it quickly, and I think it plays style quite well, so...
Up at top, they've killed off Seema. There's your first blood. Well, Timberman secures it with a power shot, of course. But the Lich, even though he's quick on his feet, he doesn't have any boots. So with the 315 movement speed, you know, he's running himself around, but Snowball with Clap is enough to secure that one. And this is maybe where the strength of this double melee support duo does come from. You run yourself around, you're not too worried about tanking up a bit of damage, diving under towers, and you're already hitting your levels. You know, level 3 across all of them. Across both of them, level 4 on Matoma Man. Maybe we'll just bring that up actually. Level 2 Beastmaster and level 2 Lich. So they're definitely lagging behind a little bit.
Yeah, and even though they've... Yeah, I want to say the fact that they've got the Lich and that they can sort of just guaranteed deny experience and guaranteed get experience is undermined a bit by the fact that they get that death. It's not necessary to get that death in this kind of lane, and be in a position where you're kind of getting behind, but you're solidly getting what you're getting and denying what you're denying. You don't want to be then giving away the kills as well.
Jirac stacking things up already. Fata, how are we looking? Bottle crowing, magic wand up, and no one. Still wait to see where he heads. You know, regular old brown boots null in his bottle. But once he hits level 6, again, it's one of these lanes kind of like the Storm Spirit lane. Well, I mean, Queen of Pain against Storm Spirit matchup, where Quap can go and kill the Alchemist. 830 health. If you get the Shadow Strike, the Scream, once you hit... Oh, actually, he's gone for a 2-1-3 build.
They're also baiting here, I think. They really want the Quap to blink forward, that's why Jirax is here. There's a second point that's just been taken in Unstable Concoction. They really want Quap to blink. But he is not taking the bait.
Definitely not, and now no one hits level 7. So there's your Sonic Wave point. But Fata, no level 6, and he is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Because Jirax is moving back up towards the top lane. They want to try and shut down Mag a little bit more. He's starting to look towards this pull camp. He's not going to pull it across just yet. He's actually stacking up waves here with his boar. So he's got a double stacked wave, which is going to land, you know, just under this tower around here somewhere. And then it's going to shove so hard towards them. Jirax is caught towards the top rune spot though, and even with a snowball out, that'll be his death. Just delaying the inevitable as no one clears that one up. But Fata, he's going to get his level 6 from these creeps at mid.
Yeah, and he got another bounty rune, so he's actually gotten 3 bounty runes already. Better.
He's 500 gold ahead of that Queen of Pain now because of the bounty runes.
Or is she gonna...
She's trying.
Use Blink, he stunned her, and that's the TP from Jirax. I think she might...
Oh, no mana for Sonic Wave! She can't throw it out, and they're gonna get the kill. One more hit from Fata. Oh, that was close. You can see it, she wanted the Scream and then the Sonic Wave to secure the kill, and maybe look for 2. But not quite good enough from no one. Mana conservation, not quite up there.
If she had managed to drop her Null, and then use her wand, and then pick it up again, that would have been incredible.
The value drop. One of those split-second moments, though. Mind control, surge away. Pasha, he's being a little bit annoying now with a level 4 Blade Fury. Really getting up in the face of this Darkseer. But net worth-wise, you know, 2,700, 2,400. You're definitely looking at Team Liquid taking a relatively good lead this early on. You know, the supports are doing well support-wise. Now, when do you think that the Aghanim Scepters will start flowing here from the Alk? Does he still go for the Radiance build?
We'll see very, very soon, because if he's not going for it, he's going to pick up a medallion any minute now. I'm not too sure. Recently, I feel like the Radiance build has been like by far the dominant build over the other one. But just because of that support Brewmaster pick, I'm interested to see faster ags.
Middle tower.
Like, you could give one to Wind Ranger first, and then give... Oh, wait a second. No, up at top is fine. Like, give one to Wind Ranger first, and then one to your Brewmaster, and just be an alchemist running around giving ags to people.
Yeah, either way, he'll definitely buy something first. Never just the straight ags, obviously. And again, fighting with again another bounce rune. So this is his 4th bounce rune of the game. Obviously, only the first one is with like that insane amount. I mean, the rest are still worth a lot. It's kind of bizarre, to be honest. Like, it makes a difference if he had gotten all the normal runes and Quap was getting the bounty runes. Then again, she used the DD for a lot of value early on.
I mean, if you think about it, it's like 750 gold or something like that he's got from the other 3 ones, and the 500 you get from the initial one. It's a ton of gold. And when you're looking at the differential, what, 2,000 net worth difference between the 2 heroes? It's a big old difference there between them. No one now finishing up his treads, but that one death could be in the back of his mind when things start progressing. Kuroki, he's getting closer to his level 6, but once he hits that primal split timing, what do they go and do with it? Do they go snowballing around looking for fights constantly? Because that's not really where Alk wants to be. You could potentially look for fights with Matuma Man, but it feels like Liquid maybe are, you know, they've definitely got the opportunity to fight or farm, but if they farm thoroughly and just keep that going, actually looking at Fata going for a Sand first, then maybe you're limited in terms of aggressive potential from the supports, you know, what they give you. And Darkseer, like, does he value farm more or fighting early on?
I mean, he could fight if they want to. I think Darkseer, Tusk, and Brewmaster could go into this little trio and fight people with like multiple iron shells and some ways to dive onto them. But I think you mentioned it earlier, they're quite happy to farm as well, not least because they have Alchemist on their team. And speaking of Alchemist, as you mentioned, the Sand Rush, they're gonna go on him right now. His ulti's just ended, he's in probably quite a bit of trouble. No, he responds quick, and Kino Pain turns around, backs off. So this is interesting, because it's not the Radiance Rush, but it's also not the Medallion or Solar Crest Rush. Probably going to see a fast Engine Yasha. Means he could disassemble later to make the Manta if he does go for the Radiance. If he just wants to... Another bounty rune? I know, right?
Oh, sorry. I missed a kill on Lich because it's too hilarious.
It's like, as soon as the rune spawning, that's where we need to look, because that's like, story of the game so far. It almost feels like even if Liquid were 3-1 behind, still be in the lead, because Alchemist gets every single bounty rune.
Nonsense. Utter nonsense. Now up at top, the Hawk will scout out Kuroki and Jirax coming in from the side. And Vega, are they planning to actually go back into this? Because Kuro is not level 6 yet. There is no Primal Split, there's no Walrus Punch, no ultimates here from the supports. But you look at the top lane, Matu is shoving this wave pretty hard with the catapult. And with Bassi turned on, they want to dive and they want to take this tower. In from the side, it's going to come the Queen of Pain, but Jirax is already roared up. And Solo will come in. They've got the Frost Blast, they've got the Arctic Burn, but damage output. In comes Jirax, but Matuma fighting, trying to take down the tier 1, but it's not enough. The catapult will keep on going as Tusk does drop one over on the side. No one. He's chased back here by Kuroki. The Brewmaster has forced the Queen of Pain away. And Fata with the haste. He's going to run in. With a concoction onto Solo, Pasha, there we go, Omni Slash, slices down Kuroki. Blade Fury's there as well. Solo gonna drop as well as the Brewmaster, and Fanta just runs himself away with a haste. Matuma Man didn't want a piece of that.
Yeah, Kuroki was actually seeing the Quap 1v1, which is pretty terrifying and maybe a sign of things to come. But a good rotation in by the Juggernauts, definitely, and Pasha gets some value out of that one, making that kill. Juggernauts is also another talking point that we haven't discussed yet, but it's become more and more popular again, the kind of old style Juggernauts with maxing your spin, getting very active early on, and actually the maxed out spin was buffed significantly, I think 2 or 3 times when they were trying to like shove people in a different direction with the hero. But other than aggressive at MLG, I have not seen anyone who's impressed me that much on Juggernaut recently. I don't know if you have, but I've mostly been a bit disappointed actually.
Yeah, there's not been anything special. I've seen it a couple of times, but nothing really shines out or is massively memorable for me. You know, Juggernaut's one of the, I guess, Era is one of the few people And I'm pretty sure the only person in Europe, especially, that I've seen that actually plays the hero and wins with it. You know, Juggernaut, I haven't seen him do very well in the laning stage. During mid-game, he's fine. But as the game sort of progresses further and further on, it gets more and more difficult, because he relies so heavily on his ultimate, right? If he does get stunned up and locked down before he can Omni Slash, and he's on a low amount of HP, he's trying to heal himself up with the healing ward, he's going to cast his spells, but there are so many things that can just stop him in his tracks. It's a rough one. Then the biggest problem with him nowadays is item progression. Like, what kind of build do you go for? And it may seem simple, you know, thinking, oh, Juggernaut, just buy stats like he used to, go for the Mask of Manus build. But you see people like Era, like I mentioned before, they've spent a lot of time min-maxing and theory crafting and thinking about what items do I need, what timing will I go for, as we see the snowball down at bottom lane. No one blinks himself away. The shard's out, they're not going to block him, but mind control with a Sonic Wave across. Look at the Darkseer here, and the Chain Frost will bounce between Kuroki as well. Seema going to get burnt down by the Iron Chill over on the side. Fata trying to finish off the Queen of Pain, but she's got to blink away, and she'll be fine. There's Kuroki looking for the Lich. Matu will clear that one up. As the fight continues over on the south, no, it's actually Pasha going in with the Omni Slash onto the creeps! The Primal Split comes out and Pasha's stuck. He can't TP. He's blocked in here by that Primal Split and the Alchemist. With a Shackle forward, they'll likely secure this one as well. Queen of Pain can't really do anything to save his teammate. And Pasha, he's going to die here, right? He's stunned up. They're going to kill off that healing ward to kill him off, though. And we'll do so in the end. Vega, losing a couple of key heroes there. Not really getting that much in return.
Yeah, so I wanted to mention this in the draft and I totally forgot, but there's one negative synergy in Vega's draft, which is the way that their burst damage works with the Wyvern ulti. Something that's, I think, it's not spoken about enough, that when you Wyvern ulti 1 or 2 or 3 heroes together, and then you throw, say, a Quap ulti or a Lich ulti or something, it's actually dealing way less damage than it usually would. And that fight could have been finished right away if they had burst down the initial 2 heroes, but the Darkseer lived for substantially longer because obviously it was protected by being affected by that Wyvern ulti.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Hey, because you think, oh, we've got them all clumped up, let's chuck our AoEs down, but it's not the same as a Black Hole or an RP or anything like that. Now, good aggressive ward here from the Dire, good aggressive wards in general, you know, looking towards this Radiant jungle, and this is something the Liquid are very, very fond of. You know, their kind of famous ward that they like to place down here has already been attempted, dewarded here, out from Vega, looking for that one. Because there's also another one that they like to place down here actually in the lane as well. But they're just looking for these farming patterns, looking for when the Juggernaut is moving between camp and camp. And then you look at the defensive wards from Vega. The wall of wards all across, just watching for entrances into the jungle and watching for Liquid's movements in to contest the farm. Because Pasha, Juggernaut's a hero that likes to go and spin stacks. Go and take out some stacks, build up his bank and get that net worth going. But yeah, but back to my point about his item progression. It's actually difficult to really consider all the options in where you're going. You know, Mask of Manus, okay, gives you attack speed, good for the Omni Slash, and gives you farming speed. S&Y gives you a ton of stats, but you need damage, you need stats, you need attack speed, you need everything on the Juggernaut, and really finding that sweet spot of items, it could be a tough one. Now, Wall is dropped there just as like a deterrent from mind control. Pasha walks straight on past it as his Omni Slash comes back off cooldown, and he's nearly level 11. A couple of creep deaths. And he'll hit that level 2 Omni Slash. And as Liquid are trying to defend down the bottom lane. 5 heroes from Vega, all grouping up for the tier 1 though. They want this tower. While Kuroki's farming mid, Fata moving up to top with his S and Y, and oh god.
Fata's been farming the whole time. The whole time this was happening.
He just got another bounty rune, you know?
Yep.
He's up to 3,600 gold.
Is he gonna go back for that Radiance? I mean, he very well could. And Windranger is actually going for earn Ags, so if he does build someone Ags at this point in time, I'm pretty sure it'll just be the Brewmaster. And he buys a Hyperstone. So that's gonna be probably a very fast AC.
Radiant's middle tower
Okay.
is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, we could see the Mjolnir, potentially. Maybe.
Yeah, it's actually, Mjolnir's not bad on this hero.
I'm just looking at this and wondering, like, magic damage-wise, burn through something in the cold embrace. What have you got? Okay, Maelstrom and Mjolnir, it's not guaranteed magic damage, but it's going to give you that opportunity. There's mind control. Oh, there's no raw. TPs are coming in. Mind control turns back with a surge. Iron shell onto Fata. He's hunting them down. He sees Mag. He has to stun onto him, and with the acid spray, 3 hits. 1, 2, power shot will finish it. And they're going to surge him forward, actually, looking for more. They're just charging them down. Seema, a couple of hits, and he's dead as well. With the iron shell there burning through him, they're going to try and get the quap, but no one blinks away back to safety. So not only is Fata farming and farming, but he moves himself down to fight and fight. And in the meantime, Juggernaut is up at top lane alone, not really able to get into the thick of things. Level 2 only slashes up, but hasn't had the opportunity to use it just yet.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've seen Alchemists get farm, we've seen Alchemists farm stacks, we've seen Alchemists get bounty runes. I haven't often seen an Alchemist 4-0 starting the game with just, like, going on killing sprees. I don't know if you saw that kill, I did not see it. No,
I looked over to the side to check something was working. T-Tours galore. I mean, Queen of Pain. No one gets the kill on the Darkseer, but this is Mind Control's Darkseer without a mech just yet. He's going to have it relatively soon, but his progression has been stunted a tiny bit by that bottle he's picked up. You know, he does like his bottle over on the Darkseer, just to keep that lane potential going on with the Soul Ring burning through his HP. Mag, Necro 1 is done. He's not going to have the 20-minute Necro 3 that he's been known and loved for, though. It's not going to be too far off unless this happens. He's cleared up by Matuma Man with an easy shackle.
And Festus is going to rush. He got another bounty rune, and he's going to rush.
Are you serious?
I mean, why buy Solar Crest? You can just buy AC. That's the next level strategy. Is like, I'll just farm so well that Solar Crest is not efficient. If you want minus army, you buy AC and then you go rush.
Holy shit! Sanjin Yasha AC, 12,600 net worth, 19 minutes in. This is crazy amount of farm.
And
absolutely amazing.
I think either his next or the one after will be an Axe for Kuroki, who's very close to his own blink, and will become like a very serious core to deal with at that point.
We're gonna keep saying this, you know, and it'll turn out he never buys an Aghanim Scepter for anybody. Jirax, Seema, battling it out in the river, over towards the south, though. Queen of Pain's looking for an entrance into this, but, oh, Chain Frost, not gonna bounce across to anybody, and Seema's stuck here. Splinter Blast will get the kill first, but Lich will lose his life for that. And now it's the posturing, 4 against 4 towards the mid, and Vega are the ones that just do the full Delta split. Pasha runs bot, Queen of Pain farms jungle. Fata, he wants a piece of this action. Give me the jungle creeps, I want more farm. I'm an alchemist, turn him into gold.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, this is just the start of a siege now. Very early on in the game, and there aren't that many tools available to get to defend against this kind of siege. I mean, Omni Slash is like a infamously weak tool at dealing with sieging enemy teams early on. I mean, Pasha's already sitting at a drum and a Yasha. He's going to try and get himself a Manta style probably. I doubt it'll be the S and Y because of the nature of the game. It could be an S and Y, but either way, he's not there. He's not even that close to there. Queen of Pain, just about to get her awkward, but also not the tool that you look for to deal with a 5-man siege, if that's what they're dealing with. Wow, Yerax nearly stops the spin TP arts combination at the bot lane. Just getting there a bit too late to ulti. I don't know if he would have been able to do anything further if he got there on time, but...
Fata says, screw you and your Aghanim Scepters, I'm buying a Reaver.
Okay, well, I mean, it's like difficult to predict what an alchemist is gonna do. He just does things. I really do think my contention for the start of the game is that at the point at which he buys an Axe, it's for Kuro, and I think he will at some points unless they just win the game really soon. But yeah, I have at this point zero faith in my ability to predict a win.
I think level 11 Brewmaster, that's when. They'll try and time it with the level 11 Brew. Get him up there, get his level 2 ulti, and, you know, by that time, Alchemist will have an Axe for him and an Axe for Darkseer, for whoever wants it. Another Axe for the Wind Ranger if she wants it, you know, sell the one that she's got. But man, oh man. So 404 over in Matu, Fata is 401. Do we have any other heroes that haven't died yet? No, just the 2. We're actually looking at Lich being the top killer on Vega, and that's not something you want to see.
We should take a moment to appreciate, I mean, I keep talking about how the Axe is pretty good on Brewmaster, and actually some Brewmasters, well, we don't see them a lot, don't always buy the Axe anymore. Brewmaster as a support, who at 20 minutes has his Arcanes and Blink, is pretty damn strong.
Oh, definitely. Now,
I mean,
Fata's going to get stunned up by that concoction from himself. But like you said, the siege is here. It's already started. Aegis is still up onto Matu, blink forward, and there's the primal split. Seema stunned up, but they've got the cold embrace down on him. Omni Slash on the back end, looking for something. But now he's stuck in the middle of them all. He's just going to get right-click down, and there's no escape from that. Finished off with a vacuum wall back into the Sonic Waves. Good, and clears up a couple here as no one not able to blink away. Fata is going to drop with the Splinter Blast and that little Shadow Strike, securing the kill. And Kuroki, oh man, Winter's Curse. The buyback on Quap has definitely worked here. Matumaman's trying to fight through this, but I'm not sure this is where you want to be. No one jumps forward, and they've defended their base, and they're going to get a full team wipe here. Matumaman, he's trying to battle through the cold embrace, but it's just healing too much, blocking out that physical damage. That is a fucking play. Darkseer denies the Wind Ranger with the Winter Wyvern illusion. And honestly, if I was on Vega, I would be fully tilted, like flipping keyboards and throwing mice around. Like, what?
I just want to use this opportunity to say Mind Control, really legit Dota player. Please talk about him more, people. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to meet him at one of the UK LAN events. I think it was I-51. I can't quite remember it. It was a while back, sometime early last year or 2 years ago. Oh man, it's been ages. But yeah, he was playing for Aftershock before he joined Basically Unknown, when they were like a full Bulgarian squad. And they were legit. You know, both Aftershock and London Conspiracy came over to the UK, and they ruined UK teams. They came over to the LAN event and were like, thanks for the money. Thank you very much. We'll just be taking the prize pot and going back to Europe. But no, they're legit players, legit teams. They've definitely shown, as Seema gets stand up down the bottom lane, they've definitely shown that they've got some super talented players.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. And okay, yeah, so Vega rebuff Liquid, but it involves Queen of Pen and Winter Wyvern buying back. And Liquid are kind of happy to say, Fata probably said, okay, fine, I'll go buy another 2 items, and we'll go again. And that's the dynamic that isn't changing at the moment. So Wind Ranger does have a blink chasing Pasha, but I'm gonna stop the chase early.
I wish there was a fight recap button that appeared whenever Alk picks up a bounty rune, because I want to know exactly how much he's gaining from them.
Yeah, I'd love to know how many bounty runes he's got in this game, and it's disgusting. Isn't what's there's a smoke attempt to actually kill him here. He's got a task behind him though, so he should be fine.
Solo Glimmer Cape, no one with the Orchid, and Fata, he's got his heart. I'm not sure this is going to be able to keep him alive though, with the Omni Slash forward. Jirax will snowball just in time, but it's just going to delay the inevitable, and he'll get right-click down in short order. But Matu turns back to fight with a blink forward, Kuroki claps, and now they've got the primal split back into the vacuum, but Mind Control is roared up. There's no wall just yet, he can Soul Ring and drop it, but he's already dead. Vega have killed off 4, and now they're looking for the 5th, with Kuroki split up. His little Earth Bruling is trying to run away, but it's so damn slow. And Liquid just lost a massive team fight.
They got destroyed. That was such a good ulti by Solo, because if he ultis soon, Tusk doesn't need to go in, he can just leave Alchemist. Or I'm not sure if it's possible to start a snowball like in range to put him inside, but not in range to attack. Maybe that's possible. But he ultied the Alchemist just as the Tusk got in, like up to him. And then they both die and everyone else is coming into commits, whereas if he does it earlier, if he tries to do it later, the Tusk can probably have just saved him, because he teleport. If he does it earlier, then it's maybe just Alchemist dying and no one else comes in. So I think the timing there of the Winter's Curse is just everything.
Oh, look at that. The 10,000, 12,000 net worth lead the Liquid and actually managed to get themselves. And it's being diminished pretty quickly by Vega. Dropping now, probably down to about 6,000, something along those lines. Experience is going to be a pretty massive spike as well, yeah. 4k back towards 0. And Vega, do they start feeling comfortable now? Because you're still dealing with an Alchemist. And I've seen Alchemist go, you know, swings back and forth when he gets these big key items up. He doesn't have anything in the works, though. He just purchased a full heart. And this is where you're wondering, hang on a second. I've got armor, I've got HP, but if I can't survive through Winter's Curse, Sonic Wave, Orchid, Omni Slash, I'm attacking all the spells, and my Tumberman doesn't have any damage yet. He doesn't have crit, he doesn't have a Deso or a Maelstrom or anything like that. He is building into the Chrysalis. But it's the Daedalus is still a fair distance away. And if you want to deal with this Pasha Juggernaut, who now has 2,400 saved up after the S&Y, the guy that we thought was struggling with his farm is now second behind the Alk.
Yeah,
things are looking up for Vega.
I still favor Liquid right now. If another fight breaks out and everyone's there together at the same time, we see imagine just a Shackle to start with a pickle for, and they are generally stronger. But you're right, the game has become a lot closer, and it's a weird thing to say, but Alchemist being only 6k ahead of your most farmed hero at 25 minutes is actually, it really is. It's only 6k. But you would not say that in any other situation with any other hero. Normally, the Alchemist at this stage is 10k or 12k ahead of your most farmed hero, and he isn't. No, he's 6k. And exactly as you said, Juggernaut was definitely behind. I was asking, will he go S and Y? Will he go Mancy? He went to S and Y, but he's got another 2,400 gold on top of that. And I would still, again, as I said, I would still favor Liquid, but we see one more fight going heavily in Vega's favor, and they're winning. They're ahead. Like,
yeah,
I don't care
definitely.
what the gold graph says, they win another fight, they're ahead.
Well, Pasha, oh, he stopped it. Cancel out the TP, but Jirax can't do this alone. His Alk is respawning in. Oh, now, in fact, but the TP forward, Solar Crest, like, this is the big thing. You know, the supports which had nothing over on Vega, all of a sudden there's a Solar Crest for Lich, there's going to be a blow. Well, there is a Blink already, but another 900 gold up for Solo on the Wyvern. I don't know, next Roshan is going to be big for Team Liquid. If they get that and are able to break tier 3s in high ground again, then maybe they can get that Rax advantage and start taking the stranglehold on the map. But they got a little bit lazy, it feels, you know? They left the enemy jungle. They were fighting on Vega's terms. Vega were the ones that were smoking up and looking for these fights, while Liquid did back up to try and farm. Now, honestly, that's got to be like his 10th one, right?
Yeah.
11th. I don't know. Honestly, so many. Yep, Mag. Shackle back, but Solo once again in position perfectly. Winter's Curse is available. Father's running in here. The roar back onto the Wind Ranger with the Curse as well. They'll bring down the Wind Ranger with the Omnislash back at Liquid. They're screwed in this. Back into the wall, and the Sonic Wave's going to be coming out of no one. They've silenced up Kuroki before he can split, and they'll be able to kill him off as well. There's no Primal out from the Brewmaster. Father trying to battle through them all. He'll chunk into that Queen of Pain, but he can't really do much else with the Glimmer Cape before the stun hits. Solo will survive. And Liquid, they've lost 2 key heroes here, and they've got to back themselves up. There's no Rax attempt. There's no way they can breach high ground.
There's a certain lack of respect going on here. That's what it looks like to me from Liquid to Vega. It is like they got to a point where we were doing so well, this game's easy. Because at mid lane it felt like, okay, yeah, Alchemist is farming, Tusk is behind him, that's enough. But no, actually Vega just brought the whole team and a really well-timed Wyvern ulti and baited you into like being team wipes. And the spot lane thing as well. If Superman goes for pick-off, it's a really good play, but as soon as Wyvern blinks in and heals, I think that should be the end of it. I don't see why Liquid think, oh, let's just like all charge in and keep fighting. It was a very good position for pick-off, the Wyvern's not there. I don't think they were set up to take a fight, and they need to maybe start respecting Vega just a little bit more, because Vega are doing what needs to be done, and getting closer and closer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got that blink over on mind control now, so you've got the counter initiation tool that you've desperately needed. 3,000 gold saved up on Fata. You know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes ago, I was saying he's just finished off Heart, and he's nowhere near his next item. But of course, it's an Alchemist. He's gonna get an Illusion Rune this time. Quap gets the bounty down the bottom, so Fata misses out on that one. But yeah, Queen of Pain, what we're sitting at now, BKB Orchid, 1,300 gold, and did Pasha decide I'm guessing Skadi here with the ultimate all picked up. You know, Skadi's the usual go-to item for a Juggernaut, just to pad out your stats even more. But I think we're going to see a smoke into smoke. Liquid, they're grouping up. Observer Ward deep here from Vega. Might be scouting this one out, but Kuro does have the smoke available. They're waiting for the gem to come out just so they can see, you know, Hawks and Observer Wards and everything like that out there. But Jirax, he doesn't spot the Hawk. He's looking for the Observer Ward up on the high ground. But not just yet.
It's going to be an interesting fight at this pit, and I have very little doubt that they will fight for it. Vega will feel strong enough that they can contest at this point, and they'll definitely know how quickly Liquid kill the rush. Importantly, the Hawk does go down, so they're gonna need to send another Hawk over there. if they want to be able to contest on equal terms. It's cooling down actually at the moment. He's got one higher up. Bring it down to the pits. The first one got killed at the pit. There's now smoke on Liquid, and you're gonna run straight into Vega. The hill's just been used by the Wyvern. That's quite a big deal.
Oh, Mag, he can turn here, but they've got Solo. He's too far forward. Fata gets roared, but the turn back. Kuroki's in the thick of things. With a Primal Split down, the Chain Frost will bounce back and forth from Primal Split to Fata to Jirax and back again. And no one wants to kill off Mind Control. Back into the wall, though. And they've got a ton of damage here with the Snowball forward. The catch out. Pasha, good shots there as well. They'll blink away from the Quap, but this time Liquid, they've got the fight on their terms. They catch the Wyvern. They've actually cycloned the Queen of Pain up. She can blink away, but I'm not sure how far or how safely she'll find herself. And yeah, not safe at all. Another blink ready now, but stunned up and killed off before she can use it. They only lose Matumbaman's Wind Ranger, and this might be the entrance to Rax here down in bottom lane.
So apparently the trick is just to kill Wyvern before he ulties.
Apparently, yep.
I mean, he also didn't get to heal because he used his heal right before they went in. So the Wyvern skill sets being quite crucial in the previous, the fights, the situations that went really well for Vega. And there's another buyback from Quap. Last time they did really well at defending bot after Quap bought back. She does not have ulti now.
You've still got Blink Curse from this Winter Wyvern. I'm wondering if he buys a TP and just drums himself forward, but no, Liquid know what's coming. They don't want to be part of this. They got some damage down onto the racks. No finisher though just yet. But Roshan's alive. This is something that Liquid could potentially go and look into. But once again, Vega do have a lot of AoE. 50 seconds until the Sonic Wave's back up, and that's something the Liquid will be keeping a timer on. They know there's Necro 3, there's Roar, there's Winter's Curse, and there's all sorts of crap being thrown at them. And Pasha, he has his Omni Slash soon as well. So I guess Liquid don't want to go into the roast pit just yet. And we're not going to see an Ags, are we? Fata, he's just stacking himself up more and more.
It's a matter of time. The game goes long enough.
Another 5 or 6 minutes.
Purely academic, right? Oh, Milan, is that another pickle on Wyvern?
Oh, it looks like it with a gem on Kuroki, the crits and hits from the Brewmaster. And that's perfect entry into the roast pit if they want to, but maybe.
You'd rather look for more kills first?
Oh, I was looking at the bottom racks, but yeah, maybe you're right. They go and kill off people down here. They've seen the boar,
Fata's already charging.
The boar will see them. Oh god, Fata stunning himself up. Doesn't do a ton of damage, physical damage negated by the armor, and no one gets himself away with a good TP. There's Tusk snowballs across the jungle to try and catch him.
But it is an easy rush after all. I mean, they were just hoping to get more kills and then rush. They'll still get the rush. I don't think there's time to contest it at all. And I don't think... We've seen very clearly Vega don't have the tools to force a good fight if they don't have the Winter Wyvern. Solo is actually a very key component to them taking fights.
Oh yeah, it's imperative that they have that Winter's Curse to win a team fight. It's definitely what they need, as well as the Glimmer Cape Cold Embrace. Even though it's a gem on Brewmaster, just forcing the Brew to kind of change trajectory and look for that target and give them vision, so they can focus him down and pick him off. But Kuroki, what's next on the card? 1700 gold saved up. Hang on a second. Look at Darkseer first. Lotus Orb before Greaves. Well, turn back Roars. Turn back Omni Slashes. Yeah. Winter's Curse is going to be the big one, though. Winter's Curse, Chain Frost. If you bounce them back onto Vega, oh boy.
And what a game of skill, because I've been saying that Solo's been great with his timings on Winter's Curse. And if I've been praising Mind Control games, so if he can get the timing like just ahead of Solo's timing, that could be a pretty big deal. That could be game winning, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Pasha's still saving up for that Skadi, which we're still assuming is going to go for, right? 3200 up, Mag with a Blink Dagger picked up, and oh god. Abyssal Blade for Fata. Again, this Alchemist, it's just nonsensical, the speed at which he picks up new items. So he's got 4 item slots filled out. He can go for Boot to Travel 2, and then have another item, maybe a Butterfly. I'm not sure though. What do you actually aim for when you've got this sort of stats armor build up for Alch? What's your 6th item?
I feel like I saw Loader in this situation, which was actually much later in the game.
Oh, against Nip.
Yeah, and then like getting a Mjolnir, which is what you were talking about earlier. And it's nice to stack attack speed on this hero just because he has such low base attack time when he's in ulti. You can also obviously eat a moonshot at some stage. I'm not sure, there's lots of different approaches, but if they're struggling to kill their hero, then to just be able to attack really fast and put the damage output, I kinda like that approach.
Yeah, and the static charge as well. If they're all focusing down on you, the bounce back of that is pretty ridiculous. But what hero is he facing though? There's a specific hero that he couldn't man fight before he had the Mjolnir, and then he could all of a sudden. But I can't remember. It might have been a Juggernaut actually, but I can't remember. But now they're breaking top tier 3. Not going to go in for the naked racks down the bottom lane because that lane has been shoved pretty hard out by Vega. But Fata runs himself back. Solo not getting in there with the Winter's Curse just yet, and look at no one. Casual plate mail into probably a Shiva's Guard just to buff himself up a tiny bit, but Pasha, shoo, he's down the middle lane, he's charging, bull rushing towards the mid tier 3. And he's going to be forcing Liquid back here, well, forcing them to make a decision anyway. Force them to run towards these racks and try and take them down against the Lich Frost armor. That's Pasha actually going to go in and fight. Fatal, he's got the curse back on him, but look at that, bouncing Chain Frost. Oh my god, it's everywhere, no one. He's already dead in the vacuum wall. There's just spells being thrown everywhere as Pasha clears up one on the back end. Aegis is expired, or popped. And Solo's dropped into the middle of all of that. Vega, I think I've just lost.
Did Mind Control just win the game by buying a Laser Sword?
I think so.
That's pretty cool. Like, he realizes that even if they catch out his teammates and he uses the Lotus Orb afterwards, they just don't have a way of bursting him down without, like, targeting a whole lot of things on him. They have to Omni Slash him, they have to Raw him, they have to Chain Frost him, they have to know, like... What a Lotus Orb. Wow.
Honestly. Wow. Well, Kuroki was right with that Brewmaster support, you know, it did a lot of work in the laning phase, the ability to just snowball in, clap people down, Fata. He definitely had the swings back and forth with the Alk. He got a ton of bounty runes with 820 GPM, it's not too shabby, but I don't know, there were scary points in that game where you could definitely see Vega thinking, we can do this. We've got a way in. We can go and break racks. We just win one more team fight. But the past the last 3 team fights in the game where they caught Winter Wyvern a couple of times initially, that really secured it. That secured it for Liquid. They knew what they were doing. They flicked that switch again. They really turned on the style. But game number 1 goes the way of Team Liquid, and Vega, they've got another chance. 2-game series.